The following program is furnished by K1 International, LLC, and is responsible for its content. Now, from the 5th floor Cumulus Studios in downtown Dallas, it's time for Inside Real Estate. Here's your host, Michael Kruizinga.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Helps if the mic is on, doesn't it? How we doing, you bunch of deplorables out there? Welcome to your Sunday morning, a wet Sunday morning. A little bit of rain past couple days. Hey, got a lot of great information for you today. As always, stop by the website, InsideRealEstateRadio.com, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. You can connect to all of our social media on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. By the way, all the stories we talk about on the show are on the Pinterest page, so check that out. And then, of course, all of our archive and past episodes, past special guest interviews, all on the archive page on the website as well. A lot of new updates going to the website. We're getting a lot of new news feeds. Sam, our production man, is constantly updating that and then increasing the number of feeds that are going in there. So the website's probably going to be totally redesigned here the next few months altogether, but it's updating along the way. It's going to be a new newsletter coming out on a weekly basis starting in the new year. So if you want to sign up for that, always go to the website. You can do that. We're also going to be starting up a series of webinars that you'll be able to sign up for, where we're going to do live Q&As, talking about various projects in home improvement, as well as, tips and tricks with it, mortgage, real estate, insurance, all those types of things. So you can sign up for those there at the website as well. Here's the outline for the show today. We're going to be doing a little bit of mortgage talk. We got Terri Wagner here in studio from Supreme Lending Rockwall. We got Jared over at Perma Pier Foundation. He's back live in studio. Of course, Richard Tonica over at Goosehead Insurance. And then we're going to do a little bit of timeshare exit strategy talk with Lone Star Transfer. And then we're going to do some home improvement with Randy over at Hydrojet walk-in tub. So we got an action-packed show for you, 6 full action-packed segments for you. So stay tuned for all of that. A little bit of real estate talk here. I wanted to mention, often we talk about the pitfalls of selling for sale by owner, but there actually are a heck of a lot of pitfalls selling, not only selling, but buying for sale by owner as well. I talked to a client recently who we had been working with to help buy a home. They decided to go off on their own and look at some for sale by owner homes, or one in particular, and they started engaging in a contract with this seller, unbeknownst, to me. And I'm just following up with the client, and they tell me this, and oftentimes buyers do that. They just run off on their own and do things. And had to go through this whole process of explaining, to the client that, hey, don't let the seller ramrod the deal, because, generally sellers are selling for sale by owner for one of a few reasons. One, they just want to save a buck, which they think they're going to save a buck, which statistically is incorrect, because everybody who sells with an agent sells, for an average national statistic, by the way, here, 15% more than they will by themselves. So you minus the typical 6% commission, they net 9% more with a real estate agent than they do otherwise. So that's a misnomer that they're going to save a buck. But the other one, which is more scary, is that they are trying to hide defects in either the property or hide defects in title, which both are extremely bad cases. And, quite possibly title defects is even worse than defects in the home.
Nobody would do that.
Oh, and they do, and they do, and they do. I mean, you have to explain to clients, hey, do you not watch, some of these 60-minute specials? I mean, nonstop, we see specials about for sale by owner scams. And, for whatever reason, buyers just don't think about it. And, by the time we got done with this conversation, she's like, oh my God, there's so many things we just, she just learned, now she's scared of. And I said, look, hey, you want to buy a home for sale by owner? Hey, buyer beware, go out and buy it, but if you're not buying with an attorney or a real estate agent, you're putting yourself at risk, serious risk.
Absolutely. I look at it like someone going to a doctor. You self-diagnose, you're always going to be wrong.
Yeah.
And if you try to go through this process by yourself, trying to do everything, you live and breathe this stuff. It's just second nature for you.
Mm-hmm.
Why would somebody, an amateur getting into this game, try to think that they would be able to do the same job with the professionalism that you do it?
Yeah, I mean, just here's a quick example for you. Seller has 2 loans on the property. They only disclose one. Maybe they get the title company that they're preferring. Maybe they know somebody there. They don't disclose the second loan. The transaction goes through. Boom, there's still that second loan lien on the property. Where does the lien stay with? It stays with the property.
Yes.
Now, it is certainly going to impact the seller's credit score if they abandon it, but the lien stays with that property. Now the new owner has got issues. So a lot of issues. That's just one example. There's a gazillion others, but be very careful if you're thinking about buying on your own a for sale by owner home. I would highly recommend using an agent and or an attorney to facilitate the transaction. Make sure you are protected from both defects in the property and defects in title. So there you go on that. Investor sales, where you see so many little street signs all over the Metroplex.
Everywhere.
I'll buy your house, any condition, pay you top price, this, that, and the other. Here's something common sense for you. Why would any investor, by the way, think about the word investor, pay you top dollar for your home when he's going to have to spend $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 to rehab it? Can he afford to pay you retail price? The answer to that is no. So why would you want to just give up money in the sale of your property, a huge asset in your portfolio, maybe the only asset in your portfolio, when you could work with a real estate agent and maybe do a little bit of rehab? We have a lot of vendors that we work with that take payment for services at closing. If you need new flooring, paint, otherwise, foundation repair, whatever you might need in your home, we've got vendors that can take payment at closing. Let's get those things done to your house and then maybe sell for top dollar at that point. But investor will not pay you top dollar, bottom line, because that is not investing. If you can find an investor that's going to pay you top dollar retail value for your house, especially when it needs some help or otherwise, or even if it doesn't, I don't care if it's ready to go. You can't pay retail value for something as an investor and then turn a profit on it, bottom line. That is not what investing is. So if you think an investor is going to pay you top dollar for your house, quick, easy, no. Bottom line is they're going to take advantage of you. They're going to pay you cents on the dollar. And maybe the offer sounds good to you. Maybe the house is paid off. Maybe it's significantly appreciated over 20, 30 years. But trust me, it's nowhere near market value. You could be leaving thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on the table. Would highly not recommend that unless you're just good with giving away money. So just a thought there. Hey, let's get to a few headlines real quick before we run out of time here on this segment. Hey, there's some pretty interesting news going on with the whole Kellogg's Foundation, Breitbart News, and George Soros. If you've paid any attention to this, it's been pretty interesting. Kellogg's pulled their advertising, web advertising from Breitbart, which was not very smart because their stock has tumbled already from this. The foundation, it gives pretty big to Soros and the Tides Foundation. It gives about $75 million to a project combating structural racism in America, which isn't necessarily bad in theory. Much of this money has gone to Black Lives Matter. So Kellogg's Foundation becoming more and more left-leaning, and obviously was upset with Breitbart. It was funny, though. Lawrence Myers of Investors Place Investor Politics Forum, he said Kellogg Company was being incredibly stupid, mind-numbingly stupid, by openly attacking Breitbart News. He says, you don't pick a fight with Breitbart. He said that Kellogg's Foundation has bought into the false narrative that conservatives and the viewers of Breitbart's website are deplorables, haters, racists, sexists, white nationalists, and they also kick puppies and they club baby seals. So it's pretty funny what Myers had to say. He's like, I can't believe the Kellogg's Foundation was buying into that. So, but Kellogg's stock tumbling because of that, and Breitbart has some 45 million folks that, tune into their website or their media in one way or another. That's a heck of a big number, and all of which like Eggos probably and eat cereal. So from a corporate standpoint, probably not a great idea. Anyway, hey, this was funny. We got retired Marine Corps General James Mattis, which is looking to be the choice for SecDef from Donald Trump. And there was a bunch of his Mattisisms that they put out, which I like this guy. He's, Marine. This guy is to the wall. Be polite, be professional, but have a plan to kill everybody you meet.
Wow.
That's one of his quotes. Which is very, very similar to some of the comments in Roadhouse. Remember the Patrick Swayze film? No war is over until the enemy says it's over, and they have a vote, he said. Think like men of action and act like men of thought. These are just some of his great quotes. As far as it relates to torture, never found it to be useful. I've always found, give me a pack of cigarettes and a couple beers, and I can do better than that. Do better with that than torture. So that's interesting, his view of that. Every morning I woke up, and first three questions I had to do with Iran. Remains the single most belligerent actor in the Middle East. And here's another quote from him. You go into Afghanistan, you got guys who slap women around for 5 years because they didn't wear a veil. It's a hell of a lot of fun to shoot these guys. He says, this guy, I love this guy. He just calls it like it is. And, for him to potentially be, the guy as SecDef, that's pretty interesting. Now, a lot of folks, of course, aren't going to like him. They're going to say, oh no, this guy's a bull, he's, not PC, et cetera, but, anyway, Ford Motors says they're open to deal with Trump to save U.S. jobs. Bloomberg News, in an exclusive interview with Mark Fields, CEO of Ford Motor Company, said, hey, we'll continue to advocate for currency manipulation rules to promote free and fair trade, because we know Trump talked about that. It was also in a number of political expert books this past year about the currency manipulation, particularly with China, and that he wants to try to deal with that. And so Ford's saying, hey, yeah, we're on board with that. And some of the things that Trump's doing with the companies out there, maybe trying to save some jobs, and then if you can work on that currency manipulation, that is huge right there. Folks, we're going to take a short break. Come on back. See you in a few.
He was a father, a prominent Dallas lawyer. No one expected Ira Tobolowsky to become a murder victim. His body was found in his garage in North Dallas in May. He had been beaten. His body and his house were then set on fire.
Crime Stoppers is determined to find out
who did this.
Go to txcrime.com for details.
North Texas Crime Stoppers is offering a $25,000 reward.
txcrime.com. All tips are anonymous.
Living in the DFW area, expansive clay soil and extreme weather conditions play havoc on homes' foundation. But thankfully, you can turn to Perma Pier Foundation Repair of Texas, who has successfully repaired over 20,000 properties and counting in the DFW area. With the most trusted, tried and true foundation repair methods, trust the professional staff of Perma Pier Foundation Repair to take care of your property, and most repairs are backed by a lifetime transferable warranty. Mention Inside Real Estate Radio when calling Perma Pier at 214-637-1444 or when booking online at permapier.com for your Inside Real Estate Radio discount.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey, folks, we are back. Website, InsideRealEstateRadio.com, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. Quickly about our guest next week, we've got a special guest, New York Times bestselling author James Rawlins. And, of course, he's releasing the latest Sigma Force novel, The Seventh Plague. And it's going to be coming up available December 13th. And if you remember, we had him on earlier in the year when he had released his book, Warhawk. And so we had a great conversation with him earlier in the year, and he's going to be back next week on the show. So we're looking forward to talking to him. Now, as we roll into mortgage talk, we got Terri Wagner here from Supreme Lending Rockwall, and her website, terriwagner.com, terriwagner.com. How we doing, Miss Terri?
Hi, good morning. I'm good. How about you?
I'm excellent. So what's going on in the mortgage world?
Oh, wow. A lot.
A lot.
Yeah. Yeah. First I wanted to just tell everyone about the new loan limits coming up in 2017. They've made some changes. Like everything else, prices are going up. So the new FHA loan limit beginning in 2017 is going from $334,650 to $362,250 in our area.
Okay.
The new conventional and VA loan limits. This hasn't changed in a while, but because we've been at $417 for as long as I can remember.
Right.
It's going to $424,100. So we get a little bit of a bump there.
Small bump. Yeah.
Small bump. So really, what I wanted to get that out of the way. But what I really want to talk about this morning is interest rates and locking in your interest rates. It is so important right now that you work with someone that has their finger on the pulse of what's going on with mortgage rates right now.
Right.
Since the day after the election, we have steadily gone up on the interest rates. Can't talk specifically about, interest rates. Don't want to get in trouble here on the air or anything. But if you are looking to purchase or refinance, and you have a contract and you're ready to move forward, you want to make sure that who you're dealing with is not recommending that you float your interest rate. There's a couple of things that you can look at. There are rate lock advisories. You can Google that anywhere, and everyone that I have found is telling you to lock within. If you are closing a loan in the next 60 days, they are saying lock your loan. So we definitely want to pay attention to that. One other thing that you want to pay attention to when you're talking with whomever you're working with, hopefully it's us, but if they tell you that your interest rate is locked, pay attention to the expiration, because a lot of folks think that when they talk to me as a loan officer and I quote them a rate, oh, that's my rate, I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Right.
Well, that's not the case.
Changes daily.
Right. There are things that have to take place in order for us to lock that loan for you. Don't just assume that because someone quoted you a rate 30 days ago, that's still the rate today, because that's not the case.
Right.
We've gone up anywhere from half a point to a point on any particular loan program. So and I don't want to scare people into thinking the sky is falling, because
Right.
that's not the case. We still have good interest rates. They're just not as low as they were 30 days ago. So if you're talking to someone, make sure they tell you your loan is locked. Not just take their word for it. There is a loan lock disclosure. There's a rate lock disclosure that you'll have to sign, and it will tell you whether your interest rate is locked or whether you're floating. Right now, you do not want to be floating your interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
You want to pay attention to how long your loan is locked, your interest rate is locked for. You can lock for 30, you can lock for 45, or you can lock for 60. If you choose to lock for 30, and most of the time that's what I'll lock for is 30 days, because typically we can get your loan closed in 30 days. But there are situations, new construction, something along those lines, that you may want to lock for a 60-day. Mm-hmm. But ask your loan officer, how long is my loan locked for? Don't let an inexperienced loan officer let your lock expire. Oh, my goodness.
It happens all the time.
That is a bad thing. So if you need to be the driver of this train as the consumer, you need to ask, is my loan locked? And how long is it locked for? And then you need to pay attention to what's your expiration date? Are we going to close by then? Is my lock safe?
Right.
Okay. So, and if you catch that, you can certainly extend your lock. There's fees for extending, but they're far better than letting that lock expire and having to take worst case pricing.
Right. And this is really important, especially, in the market that we've had. We had such a hot year this year.
Right.
And a lot of people were out shopping, maybe early in the year, first, second, third quarters, didn't find what they want.
Right.
And the last time they paid attention to their pre-approval letter was maybe earlier in the year when it was quoted at a much less rate.
Right.
Now all of a sudden we find the house and they're going back and they're thinking they have the same interest rate, and not so much. The rates have gone up a little bit. They're still historically low.
Still great rates.
Come on, give me a break.
Right.
5% and less than 5% for everybody for the most part. Historically low. So it's still a great time to buy, no doubt about it. And, hey, you can always refinance down the road, at some point. But look, if you could tell somebody, 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
15, 20 years ago, hey, you can get an interest rate for 5% when they were paying 17%, 18%.
Right. They'd think you were crazy.
They're like, what?
Well, and this can affect your approval as well. If you got pre-qualified 2 months ago at a lower interest rate and now rates have changed, you may not qualify for as much.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to pay attention. If you've been pre-qualified and you haven't talked with your loan officer in 30 days or more, you need to get in contact with me.
Exactly.
We'll address any issues that may be there. We've got all kinds of tricks in our bag that we can pull out to get you back up, because there's a shortage of homes in the lower price ranges. But so we need to pay attention to all of that. You want to be working with someone that pays attention to all of those different scenarios that can happen and cause you grief throughout your process, because it's a process. It's a 30-day process that you're going to go through, that you're going to walk through with your loan officer. So you need to make sure that you're working with someone that knows what they're doing and that can guide you and direct you in the right way here when it comes to your interest rate.
Right. Yeah, and just because, you have gotten a pre-approval letter with another loan officer, another lender, maybe that started earlier in the year, this summer, whatever the case may be. Some people think they're locked into dealing with that person. They can't switch it up. That is not true. Give Terri a call. She's going to get you taken care of. So, you might feel like, hey, I'm in a bad situation with this lender or with this loan officer. Maybe they don't seem like they're up to speed. Hey, switch to the radio expert, Terri Wagner right here from Supreme Lending Rockwall. Hey, go to her website, terriwagner.com. Check it out. You can fill out an application there. You can call, text, email Terri. She'll get you taken care of. Terri's the best over at Supreme Lending Rockwall. terriwagner.com. Folks, we're going to take a short break. See you in a few.
Far from the shores of home, two African-American U.S. Army privates fight for their lives on the battlefronts of World War II. The first Black War correspondents fight to cover the perspective of the black soldier. The novel A Private War weaves all this and more into an epic World War II era story of friendship, conflict, religion, and redemption. Get a copy of Private War, a novel by Perry Cockrell today, now available on Amazon.com. And tune in regularly to Inside Real Estate Sundays, 8 to 9 a.m. to hear Perry Cockrell, attorney at law, as he provides expert analysis of the latest and greatest in legal news.
When it comes to your mortgage and refinance needs, trust Terri Wagner, our resident mortgage expert on Inside Real Estate Radio. With a wide range of financing options and competitive interest rates, you can trust Terri for a fast and reliable loan process with superior service. Go to terriwagner.com or 469-644-4818 today. Supreme Lending is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID number 207089, 6730 Horizon Road, Suite B, Heath, Texas, 75032. SML Mortgage Banker Registration, Residential Mortgage Loan Originator. With over 3.5 million square feet and 5 DFW locations, Ideal Floors has you covered for all your flooring needs. Whether you're looking for carpet, tile, laminate, wood, or vinyl plank, Ideal Floors has you covered. And with their price match guarantee and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, they are the absolute best in DFW for all your flooring needs. Call Kevin Hamus, the owner of Ideal Floors, at 214-789-0422 or go to idealfloors.com for all your flooring needs.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
How we doing, everybody? We are back. InsideRealEstateRadio.com. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. Time to talk a little bit of home improvement and taking care of your foundation with, of course, the experts over at Perma Pier Foundation Repair of Texas. Their website, permapier.com. And, of course, if you email them or call them, mention that you heard it on the radio. And so we got Jared Benson right here, right now. How we doing, Jared?
I'm doing great. Good morning, Mike. It's good to be in.
Good morning. Good to see you again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So today, I wanted to talk about something that people don't think about when they're buying new homes. They think I'm buying a brand new home, nice and shiny. You know, when I say new, I'm going to say less than 10 years old. They're going in thinking they're buying the perfect home. And what happens when the worst happens? The structure of the home starts to fail. The foundation is going bad. The soils are moving. And what's the in the best interest of the homeowner right now. So how many homes would you say that you're buying and selling that are people are looking at new home? They'd rather look at a very newly built home.
Yeah, I mean, I think majority of clients do want to see a newer home, but there's just a shortage, really.
Yeah, there is.
A huge shortage.
And most of the new ones are kind of out in the places that aren't super convenient for commuting, if you work in like downtown Dallas or downtown Fort Worth.
Yeah.
When we bought our home a couple years ago, if we wanted a newer build in our price range, we were going to be kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Well, at least that's how I say it because I grew up in the city. So,
right. Yeah, I mean, ordinarily, we all of a sudden, it's like, okay, well, we're looking at homes that are, like you say, within the last 10 years built, and then all of a sudden we can't find what they want, and it's, boom, back to the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and we find something that's remodeled or something.
Yeah, and so in the older homes, people are kind of expected, there's going to be some issues, maybe some foundation, maybe some roof, maybe this or that. But with the newer homes, they're not often thinking about that. So a lot of these neighborhoods, foundation issues are a lot more common in these new homes than people think. And it's not, and I hear a lot of realtors I talk with say, well, what's wrong with these builders? What are they doing? Why aren't they building this better? And the reality is, most of the time, it's not the builder's fault. Most builders build their homes very similar for the price point across Texas. Mm-hmm. It's the soil that causes the problems, and we've talked about this before. But these neighborhoods are being built in areas that were previously kind of avoided, rich clay soils. They were like farmlands or whatever else beforehand. But now we don't really need that anymore, so we need space to build houses.
Right.
And these people have a home that's 5 years old. They see their neighbor getting some foundation repairs down the street. They're starting to notice some cracks, some doors that aren't closing well, some separations opening up. And what's their first thought?
House is going to fall down.
House is going to fall down. I need to get someone out here quick.
Yeah.
And, oftentimes their thought is, hey, I need to call someone, like Perma Pier. I need to call someone who's going to get out here fast, let me know what's going on, and take this and fix it before it causes a bigger problem. And that happens a lot. We get a lot of calls, and especially it makes it hard when it's for a real estate transaction, when it's the buyer calling. They've got a week to make a decision. They need someone out there in a day or two. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we have to tell them that we're really not the best option for them at this point. Because if we do, we could cause problems for them down the road. The best solution for a home that's less than 10 years old is that the vast majority of the time there's a structural warranty on the home. Now, it occurs where a builder self-insured and they went out of business and there's no warranty on it anymore. But a lot of the builders who are smaller will end up, purchasing home warranties through a bonded builder or a Beezer or a structure home warranty. So a lot of times it's worth investigating to figure out if there's still a structural warranty on the home.
Okay.
And when there is, call them. Because if you have insurance, should you use your insurance? Right? If you have a warranty on something, use the warranty. Don't pay out of pocket.
Right.
And it's not just the money, who's going to pay for it, but it's also if, let's say it's a small minor deal. We've had people say, hey, come on out here. We don't think it's a big deal. I say, well, your home's only 5 years old. You have a warranty. Well, no, I don't think it's a big deal. Why don't you just come take a look? It's like, we know if you call someone like us, we're going to tell you need to call the warranty company. It's in your best interest.
Right.
It's in your buyer's best interest if you're the seller, even if it takes a couple weeks to get someone out there. But a company who isn't used to working with builders or isn't familiar with that process, they'll come out and they'll try and sell you a repair that's probably needed, not that they're making stuff up.
Right.
But unknowingly, hopefully, they're going to be voiding any sort of structural warranty you have on that home by affecting the structure. So, this is where I get the most pushback on this is really it's with listing agents trying to get the house sold for their client, where they just want it taken care of and fixed and done. Mm-hmm. But it's really in the best interest of the seller because they're not going to have to pay for it, and the best interest of the buyer because the buyer is going to get to keep that structural warranty.
Keep the warranty, exactly.
Yeah. So that's something that's really important to consider when working with homes that are. I even say there are certain warranty companies that do like 12 years. So 10 to 12 years. If you don't know who your builder is, we can help you. We do this often. People call, say, hey, my home's 8 years old, built in, that's 2008. Yeah, did that on the fly, guys.
Good job.
Quick math.
Quick math. I didn't help.
Can you come take a look at this? And we'll say, well, do you know who your builder is? They'll say no. It's like, all right, well, let us figure it out. We can even give you the contact information. We work with most of the builders in Texas. Not all the little small ones that self-insure, but all the home warrant, all the structural warranty companies, all the big builders, First Texas, D.R. Horton, Lennar. If they have issues, we're one of the people they trust to help out, to protect their name, to satisfy their clients. So if you're concerned about that, well, I don't think we should be coming out for you. We can help you figure out who you need to speak with.
Right. And really, that just goes to the integrity of your company, because, you, like a lot of other companies, could just come out and do the repair and, hey, pocket some more, deals, and that'd be great. But, this just goes to your integrity that, look, you believe in, hey, the consumer, the homeowner, and that, look, we want to do what's right for them. And if you are in that 10 to 12 year period, first and foremost, we've got to find out, does your house still have a warranty from the builder? Because you guys don't want to void that. And if they do, then that takes care of them. But if not, hey, then you guys will take care of them. But so many of your competition is just going to go out and then they're going to take the deal. Yeah. They don't care about the warranty, don't care about the homeowner, or if it's on the market, don't care about the buyer or the seller.
Exactly. And even if they did go out and provided a decent repair plan that got taken to, that they took to the builder on it and said, hey, this is what this company said. Even if they're right, that warranty company doesn't care what they're saying until they've verified it under their warranty parameters.
Right.
So you're really also just wasting your own time by not getting started on your process, and you're wasting their time. Because I'll be honest with you, most of the builders are going to use their own vendors. They're not going to use whoever you want. Right. There's certain ones that they'll write checks to the homeowner and they can choose whoever they want. But for the most part, they're going to be using their vendors because they want to make sure that the outcome is going to be expected and kind of up to their warranty. Because really, just like you, Mike, the way people view you and your reputation is super important to how your business runs. Mm-hmm. That's how all the builders view it too.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So if you do have some foundation issues, your home's 10 to 12 years old, feel free to call, Jared and the folks at Perma Pier. They can help walk you through things.
We can.
Absolutely. But, know this, that they're going to help you figure out, okay, do you have a warranty with the builder, and go through that process first.
Yep.
And if you can't be helped by your builder or a warranty, through your builder, then, hey, Perma Pier is going to take care of you. But, hey, they're looking out for you, and they're not just looking for a quick job. And so this goes to the heart of the integrity of the company right here.
Yeah, we really do want to help you and fix your home as best as possible, and that's not always us coming out first.
Right. Absolutely. Good stuff. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, folks, you can catch up with Jared and all the folks over at Perma Pier at the website, permapier.com. Review all their information there on the website, and then give them a call. Make sure you tell them you heard it on the radio. Hey, folks, we're going to take a short break and see you in a few.
If you have a timeshare, this time of year, you're probably thinking about those maintenance fees coming due. Hi, I'm Karen Holloway, owner of Lone Star Transfer, located right here in the DFW area. Before you pay your maintenance fees, call us for a free consultation, 972-722-3166. We'll get you out of your timeshare and put a stop to those maintenance fees, guaranteed. 972-722-3166 or LoneStarTransfer.com.
Folks, it's Mike Kruizinga here with Inside Real Estate Sports Entertainment on 570 AM KLIF. Did you know that virtually all of us will experience a fall in the bathtub at some point in our life? Well, statistically, it's true. And as we get older, a fall in the bathtub can spell disaster, as we just can't recover the same as we did in our younger years. Don't let something as silly and preventable as a bathtub fall put an end to all your special plans you have lined up for your golden years. Invest in a Hydrojet walk-in bathtub. Made in the USA and with the lowest step in the industry, Hydrojet walk-in tubs has your best interest at heart. With no commission sales staff or huge warehouse overhead, they build and sell direct to you, saving you thousands of dollars over their competitors. Call Randy, my friend and owner of Hydrojet walk-in tubs at 855-980-8827 or go to hydrojetwalkintubs.com. You'll be able to speak with Randy directly, and make sure to mention you heard about it on the radio. And for you veterans out there, there's a grant available for you to cover the majority of the cost of a walk-in tub, making it darn near free. Call Randy at 855-980-8827 or go to hydrojetwalkintubs.com today.
Hey, folks, we are back. It's Inside Real Estate. Mike Kruizinga here, your host. Website, InsideRealEstateRadio.com, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. Time to talk how to get out of your timeshare, and we're going to talk to the experts in timeshare exit strategy over at Lone Star Transfer, Brian and Karen Holloway, owners of. How we doing today, guys?
Doing good, thank you. How you doing today?
I'm doing really good. You know, unfortunately, there's sort of a disingenuous nature to, timeshares in general, and there's kind of a predatory nature with the sales staff. I mean, I think everybody who's gone through a timeshare presentation is going to agree to that, and who's, maybe signed on to one. And so, unfortunately, there's a lot of folks out there that get into a timeshare and they didn't really want to. Or maybe they did actually want to get into one, but at some point in the future they want to get out of it, and they find out that it's somewhat ironclad and they can't get out of it. And that's what you guys kind of specialize in, isn't that right?
That's correct. We had a couple come in this week that actually had a timeshare that they couldn't really use to what they had or what the salesman told them they had, and so. And the salesman come to their house and was going to try to help them out and see what they could do, and they just being real nice and stuff. But they was talking to the couple, and they actually signed them up for another one. They didn't get them out of the one that they had, or they didn't help them in any way financially.
Right.
They actually just signed them up for another one. And so, you just really got to be careful what you're buying. You don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me get this straight. So a couple bought a timeshare, figured out, okay, this isn't really what we wanted. It's not what was promised, et cetera, whatever the reasons may be. Call the timeshare company. Timeshare company says, okay, you know what? We're going to come on out. We're going to talk to you about this. We're going to figure it out. We're going to take care of you. They come out there, but they don't, instead of taking care of them, helping them get out of their timeshare, they sell them a second timeshare. Is that right?
That's correct. They sign them up for another one.
That is unbelievable. And so here's the thing, folks. You need to understand that the timeshare sales staff are smooth as smooth can be, and at the same time, they're kind of bullying. So you got to be very careful about what you're signing. They may say one thing, but you're signing something totally different. At the end of the day, you're talking to a commissioned sales staff person, and they want to sell. They want to sell these timeshares. They want to sell. They will tell you sometimes, whatever it takes to get you to sign on the dotted line. In this case, we had a couple trying to get out of a timeshare. Timeshare company sends a staff representative to their house. The staff representative doesn't help them get out of their timeshare. They actually end up selling them a second timeshare, and the couple, this is totally unbeknownst to the couple. They didn't know they were signing up for a second timeshare. Only in the timeshare industry does this type of thing happen.
Yeah, we see it all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah. Folks, if you want to get out of your timeshare and, if you're one of those folks that, maybe got suckered into a timeshare and you just didn't know what you were getting, or even if you signed up willingly for a timeshare and you said, you know what, this is going to be great. Maybe you used it for 5-10 years, whatever the case may be, but now you're not using it anymore. Life circumstances have changed and you're trying to get out of it, but you figure out, oh no, I can't, and they won't let you out. Because these contracts really are set up to be ironclad. You need the folks at Lone Star Transfer to get you out. They're right here in the DFW area. You're going to talk to the owners directly, Brian and Karen, and they're going to figure out what's going on with your situation, and then they're going to come up with a strategy to get you out of your timeshare. And there's a lot of companies that prey on folks, trying to tell them they're going to get them out of their timeshare, and then they don't. They just end up taking thousands and thousands of dollars of their money. But you guys are
real deal. You care about these folks. You care about the fact that people get preyed upon, and you really want to help them get out of their situation because it's a tough situation. And what you do is very proprietary. You work with the timeshare companies behind the scenes. You're able to do what you do in a very proprietary way so that you can get people out of their timeshares. And it really is absolutely amazing. So highly recommend, folks, give Lone Star Transfer a shot. Lone Star Transfer is the website. And talk to Brian and Karen. They'll get you taken care of. All right, folks. Another great segment with Lone Star Transfer. Hey, stay tuned. We got more. We're coming right back.
If you run the marketing for your company, you're getting bombarded by salespeople from new media, bragging about how everyone's listening to them, except they're not. Edison Research, the independent research company that does the exit polls for CNN, looked at people's consumption of audio in a single day. The truth? Not what the new Pandora sales folks are telling you. They'll tell you radio is dead, but more than 93% of people listen to radio in a week. More than half of all audio consumed in a day is radio. On shiny new toys, only 6% listen to satellite in a day, 6% to Pandora, just 3% to Spotify. Radio, still the dominant adult mass marketing medium. The 7 Cumulus radio stations here in DFW reach over 3 million people per week. 3 million. Those new media toys don't have that kind of reach. Find out more about that Edison research and the truth about audio consumption at DallasRadioWins.com. That's DallasRadioWins.com.
The Richard Tonica Insurance Agency in Arlington has nearly unlimited resources when it comes to getting you the best insurance rates and policies for home, auto, and more. As part of the Goosehead Insurance brand, you, the consumer, have the power of choice through the Richard Tonica Insurance Agency network. Richard can quote over 20 A-rated companies to find the best fit for you, the best policy at the best price. Call Richard today at 817-286-2002. It's the Richard Tonica Goosehead Insurance Agency, 817-286-2002. Hey, folks, we are back. It's Inside Real Estate. Mike Kruizinga, website, InsideRealEstateRadio.com, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. We've got Randy Addington here, owner of Hydrojet Walk-In Tubs, and, of course, their website is HydrojetWalkInTubs.com. You know, folks, statistics show that more than likely we're all going to experience a fall in the bathroom at some point in our life, and chances are it's going to happen as we advance in age. And you know, to stave that off, I highly recommend, looking at changing your whole situation, in your bathroom as regards to your shower and tub. And the Hydrojet walk-in tub is a great combination to be able to allow you to get into the bathtub and the shower and take care of business without the risk. And as you advance in age, that's very important. And of course, if you have mobility issues, maybe you're a disabled veteran, or maybe you got a bum knee or a bad ankle, or whatever the case may be, a sports injury, it just makes it all the more easier for you to get in and out of the tub without the risk of falling down. And look up the insurance statistics yourself, folks. I am not kidding. Statistically, it's almost the one thing that we're all bound and destined to do, which is have a fall in the bathtub. And so I would highly recommend looking into this product. So we've got Randy here, the owner, and we're going to talk a little bit about the fact that this product is made in the USA, and that's something that's pretty rare to say these days.
Yeah, that's very rare, Mike. And people take words and twist and distort them to make them to give you that warm, fuzzy feeling. But the bottom line is, it's either made in America or it's not.
Yeah.
There's no gray area whatsoever. And what many companies will do is to get around it, and where they're advertising they're made in America is really just kind of a twist on words. It's not an outright I don't think they mean to lie necessarily, but the majority of your tubs are made in Mexico or made in China, and the reason for that is it's much less expensive cost-wise to build one, and then they're shipped here. When they're shipped here to the manufacturer that's going to sell them or the dealer that's going to sell them, what they do is they assemble all the components, the motors and the faucets and the doors and the hinges and all those kinds of things. So because they assemble it in the United States, they say we're made in America. Well, that's not true.
Right.
It was made in China. It was put together, here in the United States. And the reason companies do that is for cost. And when you do it, overseas, let's say, and ship it here, then you're not required to maintain parts, nuts, screws, all those types of things. When you are truly a made-in-America product, you have got to keep the nuts, the bolts, the screws, all the major components. You have to keep a stock of them in stock for 20 years. Okay, that's why companies don't do it. It's too big of a hassle, takes up too much space, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So where we're different is we are certified made in America. We've got a sticker. If you go on the website, you'll see our certified with a little check mark on it. We are certified made in America. What that means is that we have been through, I'm going to say, about a 2-year rigorous testing by a non-biased third party. And what they've done is they've checked us out from tip of our head to the bottom of our feet and so on and so forth to make sure that what we put in our tub comes from here, is done here, made here, and all that. And we're pretty proud of it. We actually have a certificate that we can show you when we come to your home that shows you, and you can verify it. If someone were to display that on their tub without that certification, that is a federal offense, I believe. There's a little video on our website that tells you how the certification process works, and all you have to do is look at it. But I'm proud of the fact we're made in America because we do service so many veterans. It makes a big deal to them that we're made in America.
Yeah,
they've
absolutely.
served for this country, they've fought for this country, and they want something made in America. So that pretty much eliminates the majority of my competition. I don't know every single one and what they do and where they get their tubs from, but as a rule of thumb in the industry, they're made somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then they give you a lifetime warranty. There's a little word in there that they don't stress too much. It's called limited lifetime warranty.
Of course.
And what that means is they will give you a limited lifetime warranty on the shell of the tub. They'll say, well, you get a lifetime warranty with this tub. Well, you do, but not every single thing on the tub. It's a lifetime warranty on the shell itself. Some of them will include the seal and the door, which is part of it. But what that means when it's limited is there's some exclusions. So they're going to exclude chipping, cracking, fading, and peeling. Well, I don't know anything else that can go wrong
right, exactly.
with a fiberglass tub. And then if you are so unfortunate to pick one of my competitors that sells an acrylic tub, you're in even worse shape. Because it takes a lot longer for a fiberglass tub to set up than for an acrylic tub, so they're just more sturdy.
Right.
I tell people all the time, if you were going to the lake, would you want to go out on a boat that's made out of fiberglass or one that's made out of acrylic? Kind of an easy answer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and what's frustrating about this is that, companies, they try to benefit on both sides. They'll ship the manufacturing of the product overseas, get it done made cheaply, bring it back, and then say, oh, well, we put it together here. Well, the parts are from who knows how many different countries. We put it together here, it's made in the USA. No, that is not made in the USA. Like you say, you guys went through a strenuous, rigorous 2-year test of your product, that every single piece in that product made in the USA and assembled in the USA. And hey, that's something to be absolutely proud of, and it's so very rare. And it's frustrating when companies out there say their product is made in the USA when it flat out is not. In fact, every little piece, every little part in their product is made somewhere else. And that's really frustrating. But folks, hey, if you want the best product in the industry at a much more reasonable price with a real lifetime warranty, not something that's limited. And what makes me mad about that too is they try to sell you that they have the warranty, but they really don't. And it's just all around. It's a bad business model that some of the competition has, and it's all predicated on really taking advantage of the consumer. not being able to back the product, because they're giving you a limited warranty, very limited, and it's not set up in your favor at all, because they don't even know anything about the product anyway, because all the parts come from some other country. It's just bad business. You guys are 100% opposite, made here in USA, a full warranty. You can get a hold of Randy and Sheila, the owners, anytime you want to, but you're not going to need to because the product speaks for itself. Top of the line quality. And folks, hey, if you have mobility issues, disabled veteran, you're advancing in age, you're a little bit worried about it, you just want, hey, it's easier to get into a walk-in tub. And not to mention the benefits of hydrotherapy. I would highly recommend looking into it. Their website, hydrojetwalkintubs.com, hydrojetwalkintubs.com. You can check out the website for all the information. Check out the Made in the USA video and the strenuous, rigorous process that they had to go through to get that, which is huge. And then, of course, Randy's phone number is right there. You can call him and talk to him and Sheila over the phone, and they'd be happy to spend some time with you and seeing how they can help you. Folks, hydrojetwalkintubs.com. And hey, we're going to take a short break, then we're going to come on back. See ya in a few.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey, folks, we are back. Time to talk some insurance. We got Richard Tonica right here live in studio. Goosehead Insurance, richardtagency.com. richardtagency.com is the website. Hello, Richard.
Good morning.
And we're running a little bit low on time at the end of the show today, but we'll give as much info as we can and then bring more next week.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was things to avoid when you're doing your home insurance. These aren't necessarily in order or anything else, but it's just typical mistakes that a lot of people make. Not people that work with me, but a lot of people make. And the first thing is underinsuring their home. Let's say that it costs you $100 per square foot and you got a 2,000 square foot home. Typically, your home insurance should be about $200,000. And you may have some other carriers or insurance people that may come in and say, oh yeah, well, we're only going to do 80% of that because 20% is your land value and blah, blah, blah. You don't want to do that. I mean, you're still considered 100% insured because what you're insuring, home insurance insures the home. It doesn't insure your property. It insures your home. So if there's damage out in the middle of your field, of your yard or something like that, if it doesn't affect the home, it does not affect your home insurance.
Right.
And so when you undervalue or underinsure your home, let's say you do have something that come in there. When they underinsure it and they say that, yeah, you've got extended warranty or extended coverage for 25%, so that 160 actually is going to go back up to the 200,000. No, it doesn't. Okay. The extended means that when you're doing your insurance, it means that if there is a catastrophe, then and the prices go up, then you're covered. They will pay for the increased cost of the materials that it's going to cost to replace your home or repair your home. If it's not a catastrophe, which a lot of times it's not, you don't get that 25%. So you're stuck at the $160,000. So if there's a fire that demolishes your house, that's not going to be a catastrophe. It is going to just be a fire and you're going to get the $160,000. That may or may not be enough to replace your house or
rebuild, yeah.
Or even get you the house or buy a new house that is comparable to the one that you have. And so that's the reason when we're looking at this, I mean, you really do need to look at how much is your house worth or how much does it cost to rebuild? Because it really doesn't matter how much you're paying. It does in some instances, but it matters how much when an insurance company is looking at your house, how much does it cost for us to rebuild your house the way it looks and the way you have it? That's what you need to insure your house for. If you go below that, you're doing yourself an injustice. Mm-hmm. One of the other things is a lot of people may try and misrepresent things about their house. The last thing that you ever want to do is give an insurance carrier a reason not to pay your claim. You weren't completely honest about when this was replaced or what the level of your bathroom is. And you never really know about this stuff until you're having a claim.
Right.
And then you're already being inconvenienced by having the claim. You want everything to go absolutely as smooth as possible. And when you're setting things up, that's when you make sure that you're getting it to where you're going to be able to take care of these things the way they should be taken care of. And it's a smoother ride if we have all the facts about your house on the way that it's built, the amenities that you have within your house. That way we can get it designed and get it back to where it was before the claim or before the accident occurred. And it's really the price difference on a $200,000 to a $250,000 may be absolutely minimal. You don't know. It's just cutting out that stuff. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's in the end, it's not the best thing for you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you're trying to save money in your homeowner's insurance, a lot of people think, well, what can I cut? What can I cut? And in other agents, they'll cut things for you, but they won't have the discussion with you. What I like about what you do is you're going to have the risk assessment discussion with all of your clients and prospective clients to figure out what they need, what they don't need, and maybe they can cut something that is less likely to happen at their property, but maybe they need something else.
Absolutely. And like I say all the time, everyone's risk is different. Yours is different from mine. And some of the things that I'm willing to take a risk on, you may not be comfortable with. But I mean, that's where it also goes when I don't talk about cutting unless you want to, because one of the things or the advantages of working with me is the fact that I have over 20 different carriers that I'm going to shop you with, and everyone has an ideal customer. And they're going to give the best deal to their ideal customer, and you may not have to cut anything. We may add more endorsements to your policy over here and still get a better rate. Mm-hmm. And just because you're getting a more comprehensive policy doesn't mean that you're paying more on your annual premium. Right. But also, one of the big things that most people do is they shop they make their decision on their insurance by price. We have this conversation all the time that not every policy is the same, and they're not all created equal. And the last thing that you want to do is really just shop on price.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. Folks, you want to go to richardtagency.com, the website richardtagency.com. Richard Tonica from Goosehead will take care of you today. Give them a buzz. Folks, we'll see you next week right here. Neither the hosts nor the guests or contributors of the show Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga are attorneys, CPAs, tax advisors, or investment advisors, and are not providing legal advice during the course of the show. If you need professional legal advice or services in any of those categories, please seek the appropriate professional. The host is a licensed real estate agent in Texas with the Chris Arnold Premier Realty Brokerage, a fair housing broker and member of the MLS.